everyone else has something green, and people can make the connection of, oh, these are part of the same group. Plus, as we gather momentum, presumably more people will know that green is a reference to the movement as a whole. As far as the logistics of getting supplies, I mean, the first thing is, how many people do you reasonably expect to be able to get out this weekend? And then start, back of the envelope, how many supplies do you need for that? If you want, if you're expecting, I don't know, say a small thing, say 400 people, and you need 400 bandanas, maybe 3 stickers per person. So multiply that, start getting together a spreadsheet of things is a good practical idea.
So I have a question. My name is Marcia. I'm in Chicago. So is it that we want this particular thing to look the same everywhere it is? Do we need guidance on that? Like I go out with a group here, and we all have the bandanas, and we've done, we've supported students here and done other things. So if for this particular weekend, is it just more the same, or is there a certain kind of message that's very specific that the New York office is asking people to do in other cities? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I guess you'd have, is anyone here?
Hold on. We got to let other people in on this conversation. I know Milla, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. You had your hand up, so I want to hear. No?
Yeah. Sorry. Obviously maybe stupid question, but it just feels like we want to get the most people possible in a given city. And I mean, yes, I could call my group of mom friends and have, 12, 15 people out at, a local business or mall or whatever. But I mean, is there going to be a more of an organized thing? So like based on city to city, like I'm in LA, is there going to be a place that, let's say you guys maybe, I could put it on my Instagram, like join us for this meeting or something, but like something a bit more official. So it's not just like 10 random people. Anyway, that was.
That's sort of, I agree. That's sort of what I was trying to ask Matt as well. Like, is there a particular agenda, or are we just doing our thing?
It seems like there could be. A few weekends ago, or about a week ago, there were, when protests first started happening, I tried to find if anything was happening in my area, and there wasn't anything. And so when I went to the website and saw that there wasn't anything in my area, it gave me an opportunity to host one, to host something. And so I did. I ended up being the only person out there for about 2 hours, but a few people did end up showing up. And I imagine if I would have had, I had only did that I had only did that like maybe the day or two beforehand. So had I have done it sooner and had more time to like let people in my area know, then I'm sure more people would have been out there. But just organizing, I think you can go directly to the website and just host it yourself, pick a location and say, this is where we're going to meet. And people, if you give them a location, you give them a time, and people will show up.
In just locations in particular that you guys would recommend as like places that would get the most attention?
Totally.
And downtown seems like the place where most of City Hall and all of that.
Yeah, courthouses are usually the best places to have everyone meet at the court. That's any time that there's any sort of protest in our areas, it's definitely the courthouse. And you can give the police department a heads up. That was something that the Planned Parenthood, our local Planned Parenthood, did for the last march. And personally, I'm ACAB, but the police did show up, and they were in support of, or at least not in support of anyone in particular, but they did offer protection for the people who were protesting with Planned Parenthood. So if you expect that there's going to be a lot of people, maybe giving them a heads up, like, and requesting, I don't know if there's like forms to fill out for anything like that, but just like letting them know, hey, we are going to be, I don't know, actually. I don't know how much getting police involved is for the best or not, but yeah. Well,
I mean, the
Just let
thing
me
I
say
would
real quick.
say,
Hold on. Just let me say real quick. Just to bring it back to the plan making of this, just to speak to some people's questions about. Okay, just for one, so people know, Chantel is trying to get in, so she's having technical problems in that. But we'll hear more from her about how we're gonna go about like some of the organizing. But I wanted to come back to vision, and I wanted to come back to messaging, because there's a point to like this. The idea with the Green Out Weekend is that yes, the national is sending out like a more of a broad call, right, for the weekend of fill in the blank when Chantel gets here of whatever weekend, we will do a Green Out Weekend, right? Meaning the symbol of the green, right? It shouldn't just be like, okay, as we put out the green, then people will find out what the green stands for. But as we are actually calling for people to take this up, we have to make very clear that we are taking up the green as an inspiration of what the women of Argentina, Colombia, and Mexico have actually done, right? And having a lot of experience working with a lot of Spanish-speaking people, in particular people that have actually been a part of the movement in Argentina, that this is very inspiring for them to actually see that us here taking up this battle in this country where they're getting ready to strip women's right to abortion, the Supreme Court is, that we're taking up the green as a symbol to actually call on other people to not allow this to happen and to do what they did and take to the streets and mass sustain protests to say hell no, right? And this is this is what we have to be putting forward with the slogans of post-Roe hell no, forced motherhood is female enslavement, abortion on demand and without apology. And on that basis, right, then the green should be however people actually, whatever creative ways that people actually think that we can take this up, right? There's this idea of like, how do we take this out to the people that on a Friday, Saturday evening are out at the bars or out at the theater district or out, just hanging out, having a beer, hanging out with friends. How do we take this to them where, we are like, saying in the daytime, the students are shutting down business as usual. At nights, we're doing that. We're marching through these areas, we're chanting, we're calling on people, we're spreading the green, we're having them take up the bandana and be part of this, right? And donating and all this, right? And actually having them take it up, not just as a informational thing, but like, you got to be a part of this, right? To go back to what Sarah was saying about like, not just saying fuck you Supreme Court for doing this, but like, like we will dare to get out there and actually stop them, right?
Michelle, Chantel is here.